Hey, it's Adam New here, and today we're going to be hitting leg day. It's going to be a quad focus day. Unfortunately, I can't lift at the school, so I'll be lifting at Planet Fitness, and I'll see you guys there.
I don't necessarily recommend recording at Planet Fitness only because they have rules set against that. One reason why I did is I hardly go there as it is, and I couldn't go to the high school today is because we had a staff meeting and had to comply with that. Since today is a quad focus day, I like to do normal squats, and I'm going to be doing 5 sets of 5 of these. I do something called progressive overload, which means you start off with a lower weight and progressively get higher in weight. As you can see, this is what I'm doing. I eventually go to, since Planet Fitness bar is 25, that would be 200. I like to use progressive overload with my three main core lifts: squat, bench, and deadlift. Any other lifts are like 3 sets of 10. I try to progressively overload those two, but I do this to develop strength, and it's also another good way to uh, build muscle. Few pointers for squats is that watch your depth, keep your head up, and keep your back straight. Those are something you want to do and take consideration of. Not only that, watching these could cause severe harm and always cause injury if you don't pay attention to yourself. Injuries suck. It'll always put you out of the sport or whatever you're doing. Um, it's just not any fun. So I would advise being careful on what you do in the gym. Speaking of the gym, I also want to clarify that you should always be respectful of the gym, no matter if it's a school gym, a home gym, or a commercial gym. You should always respect your gym. So if someone doesn't want to be recorded, please don't record them. Just always be respectful of who you're around and clean up after yourself. That's why I suggest do not record at Planet Fitness, but it's only really one time a week where I have to. I'll eventually find a gym where I can record, but till then, it's either gonna be Planet Fitness or a school gym, but mainly a school gym. Right after squats, I like to do my abductors and deductors. Right now, I am doing my deductors. There are plenty of people out there that say working your abductor and deductor as a guy is kind of girly, but I could disagree with that because there are a lot of studies that say that working both of those can lead to explosive power. And that's something I do need, especially if I'm wrestling. I just like to work these all year round because they're simple. I mean, they hurt a little bit, but other than that, they're just all around simple to me. With these, I'm doing 3 sets of 10. Same thing with like my curls. Um, I'm periodically changing the angle a bit, so it's not as boring to you guys. Speaking of that, I know this is like my first 2 videos so far. If you guys see anything or want anything put in the video, I can try to do that to the best of my ability. I would just appreciate any feedback that you guys give. I'm gonna let both the abductor and deductor machine play out, and I'll get back to you. After working my hip abductors and deductors, like to switch over to calf raises. I preferably like doing standing calf raises, but they don't have the machine here at the Planet Fitness, so I just had to do the seated variations, which is perfectly fine with me. I do about 3 sets of these. I usually do about 15, drop down to 10, and then lower the weight and do 20. I feel like the seated variations of calf raises are a little harder than the standing ones, so I'm not doing as much weight as I would with standing calf raises, and honestly, it's just not a comfortable position to me. But like I said, I had no problem doing this. The things with calves is you want to train them as frequently as possible, so at least 4 times a week. So realistically, you could throw them in after any other like workout you decide to do. For example, let's say you decide to do chest, you can implement them at the end of the day and just call it there. Your calves, your abs, and your forearms are the only muscles that can be trained up to 4 times a week. Like I said, um, they're really supposed to be trained in high frequency. So at the calf raises, I like to switch over to the leg extension and do 3 sets of 3, heavy load or as much as possible, keeping it within the 10 rep range. There's not really much I can say about these other than you want to have good range of motion, so go up as much as possible and go down as much as possible. Another thing is you want to start fast, going up, and you want to go down slow, just so you get more attention, and you're more likely to get micro tears. Not as if that's a bad thing. Micro tears are developed by just doing any sort of exercise or workout. They are what build your muscle, and training too excessively can cause injury because of not letting your micro tears heal properly or giving them enough time to heal. Finish up the rest of my leg extensions, and I'll come back to you in a second when I do my next exercise. After leg extensions, I decide to switch over to weighted decline sit-ups with a twist. For the first set, I like to start off with at least 15 reps. If I can get 1 or 2 more reps after that, I usually do those so I can get what's left in the thing that I have left over. So this first set, I did about 16 reps. There's not really much to explain with these. The only reason why I do a twist is to work my obliques a little bit. Try to stay off the bench as much as possible. Obviously, some people can't, and that's okay. I wouldn't recommend doing weighted decline sit-ups for your first time doing these, only because the unweighted variations of these are still as difficult. After that set, I do another set of 16 on the same weight. This time I don't get the extra rep. I have this exercise sped up a bit because it took me longer to do than the rest of the other exercises. Like I said multiple times, be careful on what you do in the gym. You can always cause injury even doing the slightest movements. Would always recommend stretching before and after a lift because that can always reduce the chance of getting injured the next time you lift. Another thing I would like to recommend is doing rehab exercises that help prevent injuries. They are also used to help people with injuries recover. Fortunately, I had to head home, but you'll see why in the next clip. Today's leg day wasn't too bad. It started raining as soon as I got to the gym. About to go home and make a homemade pizza. It's about to be great. While I was waiting for food to be made, I decided that I would get my few ab exercises left done. As soon as I got home, I decided to do Navy SEALs. I ended up doing 2 sets of 16 and 1 set of 10. My personal opinion, these work really well to build abs. But one thing you have to take in consideration, abs are made in the kitchen, as they say. What I'm saying is watch what you eat, track your macros like your fats, your proteins, your carbs, and calorie intake. Also make sure to track how much water you're consuming a day. I like to throw on a little bit of Sam Sulek in the background. He's kind of someone that inspired me to start YouTube. So you see him in the background on my TV often. There's nothing much to these other than just picking your legs up and crunching your abs together. Now for crunches, I decided to do 3 sets of 10. You can see I can sort of struggle with these, but that's okay. I'll let this exercise play out for a little bit. So I decided to make a protein shake to go with it because currently I'm on a bulk right now and I need those extra calories. As you can see right now, I'm weighing at 152, so that's not pretty bad for today.
Yeah,
And
keep
I'm
it, keep
gonna
it.
have to end off the video here.